Hello there, my dear. If you found yourself stuck and losing steam when you encounter writer's block, you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to share a recent struggle I've had with a book project and the way I was guided by my intuition to anchor into play and fun in order to get back into writing. So let's begin. So there I was. I had finally decided I was going to move forward with this book project about creativity. I had spent months reading books about creativity, figuring out like what is it I think about creativity. I email my list about creativity every other week because it's a topic that literally lights me all the way up and I have all the questions about. And I finally had the courage to declare it. Okay, I'm going to move forward with this project. I want to write a book about creativity. I think this is where I want to head. And I decide that. I begin to gather all the notes I've written about creativity, the emails I've written about it. I put it all together. And then I begin to make space in my calendar to sit down and write about creativity. And then I sit down. And I noticed that every time I sat down to a blank Google Doc to start writing, like nothing would happen. Um, this would then lead me to go and find other notes about it and like find these different things that I had to say in my notes app on my phone. And still, what I found myself doing was like I was busying myself with organizing stuff rather than actually doing any writing about it. And so instead of looking for writing prompts, instead of like forcing myself to do and write something on the page because I'm a verbose woman, I can find things to put on a page. I decided maybe this is the best time for me to get still, for me to get quiet, for me to reach out to my guides for support, to use my spiritual tools because I love this project so much. I still at that moment couldn't figure out like why is it I'm so excited to do something? And for the first time ever, I mean, I've been in school, I do projects on my own. I have 3 degrees, like no matter at what juncture when I usually start something, I can usually find some way into it that allows me to get through the beginning portion of getting started, but this time it was like sitting there. I wasn't able to do it. And so I was like, oh, maybe I should reach out for spiritual guidance. And when I did, immediately they shared that it's time for me to move away from my computer, get a notebook, and start handwriting my ideas and drawing my ideas. And what they also revealed was that I'm getting tripped up because I feel like I have to get it right. Right? Creativity is such an important part of my life, and it's a topic that I could talk about forever. And I'm so passionate about it. And I can't believe I'm finally ready to share with the world what it is I have to say about it as a woman of color, too, right? And I know it's a book I'm meant to put out. And all of that pressure, all that is actually keeping me from putting any words on the page. And so they're saying that's too much pressure. We can't put all that pressure on something new, right? This part of the process is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be in exploration mode. You're supposed to be brainstorming, right? Which is usually for me, like the funnest part of the writing process is the beginning because it holds so much hope and possibility. And I'm not like at all kept within a structure or a form yet. So I'm like, oh my God, I can just like go. And at this point, I was so stuck because I put so much pressure on what I wanted this to be that it didn't even allow me to start. And so my guides were like, this is the beginning. Stop making this so heavy and figure out how to enjoy this. Right. And so they encouraged me to get a journal. And I love writing and I journal all the time, but I bought one specific like dot grid journal specifically for this project because they're like, you're going to write in it, you're going to draw stuff, give yourself the space away from lines to explore what it is you want your ideas to be for this book. So if you've left me, come back. This is my stop, drop, and write moment where I help you get intentional so you can have a moment to reflect, right? So these are some questions I want you to explore. If you're feeling as though you have writer's block or you're stuck, like what's keeping you from enjoying the process of writing? And what could you do to anchor more into play to enjoy the project that you're working on right now? If you just joined us, Hi there, my dear. I'm Dr. Raquel, and I help visionary women of color who carry so much for their communities move from only writing what's expected, the educational, professional, and polished content, to courageously sharing the personal stories that reflect their full lived experience so they can inspire others and make the impact they know they're here to make. So, going back to my video content, I hope what you were able to see and what my guides revealed to me is that awareness is what's key, right? The awareness of slowing down to feel into the truth of what was unfolding. Sometimes it gets a little hard for me because I'm such a heavy thinker. And so I go into my spiritual tools to help them reveal to me, like, oh, like what's happening here, right? And what it revealed to me was like the most funnest part of the writing process for me, the beginning part was bogging me down. And I don't actually ever really place that much pressure on myself in the beginning, right? Because to me, it feels like a portal of exploration to a new place that I haven't been and I haven't done something before, right? And I know that it gets to be revised later. So the beginning has this like energy of just like, oh, nourishing play. But because this project was so important to me, I had spent so many years already like thinking about it, and I finally had the courage to declare to myself that I wanted to write a book about it, I had placed too much pressure on it. And it was up to me to return to play, to figure out what's going to get me back to that place in the writing process where I'm going to be able to enjoy doing this book, right? And my guides heard me, they responded to me, they gave me support, um, and they invited me to go play, right? And today I'm still playing. Like I have the journal. I They also revealed to me that I get to also have fun and create other things as I'm creating and writing this book. I think often in the world we're taught like pick one thing, stick with it, give it all your attention and focus. And it was very clear to me like between picking this book and another book I want to write and other projects I want to do, they're all like these beautiful ways and pathways to creativity. They're going to help you with this book. So don't feel as though you have to choose. And I think that's the beauty of slowing down to consider moving through writer's block with a little bit more intention, intuition, and spiritual connection. It doesn't have to feel hard, right? And technically, we can be invited into worlds where writing can be fun and easeful and simple. And so, your writer's block is not just some big monolith of a stone that's really hard to move. Writer's block really just indicates that you're lost, right? So watch my next video where I provide you a different approach to moving through your struggles with writing, one that is anchored in a much more intuitive and kind path that opens the portal of creativity, beauty, joy, and fun. I'll see you over there.